welcome to the Vita Cast, episode 75. I am your host, Tyler Olthoff, and with me as usual is Kyle Wakeling.
Fine, I guess I'm with you this time.
Kyle, like I've
It'll
said,
be nice and play along.
Yeah, just do that. Make my life easier. Thank you.
Just this one time though, Tyler. Just this one time.
But speaking of making lives easier, someone's not making your life easier, Kyle. Who's that?
Yeah, that's Liam, and he's joining us, but he wasn't joining us, then he was joining us, and he's just screwed my shit up, so that's
Yeah.
Liam.
I'm just forever being a nuisance to everybody and just causing havoc just for the fun of it.
Yeah, so try not to screw up this podcast, please.
I
We
hope
just
not.
started.
We did just that.
Make my life easy and make it to where I don't have to edit much. I'd appreciate it. No pressure.
No promises. No promises.
Hey. Well, alright. Anyways, this is the Vita Cast. We talk about the PlayStation Vita if you're new to the show. If you're not, then you know the whole ordeal. So let's jump into those things that we've been playing. And Kyle, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing the Unfinished Swan, but unfortunately, due to Liam, I didn't get to play the rest of it tonight, so I didn't finish it.
Why?
I know we said we were going to finish it, but again, blame Liam. Send all hate mail to @LiamHangover on Twitter. Fill his inbox with shit. But yeah, I've been playing Unfinished Swan, and I'd say I'm close enough to the end to pretty much make a judgment on the game, unless, they pull something out of their ass at the end, which I'm sure you guys know better than I would. But I thought it was, pretty decent, but at the same time, it seemed like it was longer than it needed to be. I don't know. It seems like once you figure out each of the mechanics and then use them a couple times, it's like, why do you keep doing this for, 10 minutes to get to the next bit? This is kind of lame.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was cool in concept, but it would have been better, in my opinion, if they would have cut out some of the, getting from here to there bits and just introduced you to all the different mechanics and maybe added one or two more instead of, the journey. But yeah, that's just me. Also, I've been playing Hot Shots Golf because I'm getting addicted again, and it's lovely. That's my only addiction that I just let myself go. So if you ever find me, twitching in the corner playing Hot Shots Golf, that, I let myself go a little too far. So, definitely been playing that. Also, I played some Killzone Mercenary. Got some crazy, stuff happening on veteran and single player, so it was pretty interesting. I always try and, do things a little bit differently, so sometimes I just run into shit with, a pistol and see what happens, but,
Yeah.
It was interesting. I had fun with it. I think that's all I played this week. What about you, Liam? Since we'll skip Tyler for now.
Okay, so I also had a go of the Unfinished Swan. I think I'm about halfway through it at the moment, but I totally agree with everything you've said so far, Kyle. It does seem to be a bit long-winded at times, and things could be so much simpler with it. I do hope something magical happens at the end, because it just seems like a basic, I'm going to throw paint around until I find out where I need to go. But then I also had to go of Brace the Sun as well. It reminds me of an old Flash game I used to play at school, where you were a triangle and you had to pilot around cones, and if you crashed, you'd have to start again. But it can be quite addictive. I spent a couple of hours with that. I also kind of looked at Hohokam. I didn't exactly play it as such, I just looked at it. Just loaded up and looked at the screen. I also tried Murasaki Baby as well, and that was interesting, but I need a bit more time with that, I think. So yeah, just basically the PlayStation Plus lineup for this month I tinkered with over the last week.
Nice. Yeah, jumping into what you guys were mentioning with the Unfinished Swan, I pretty much have the exact same thoughts. I'm the only one that actually did finish it, though. But then again, I didn't have Liam bombarding my attempt at trying to finish it.
Yeah, but what
Come
the hell,
on,
Liam? Liam didn't even
guys.
finish it. He played the other games. Like, what the hell,
I
man? Come
know,
on.
jeez. He was probably
You actually
betting.
had the time. Like, I wasn't interrupting you and fucking your shit up.
I get easily distracted.
Well, I don't. Okay, I do, but I manned through the Unfinished Swan and beat it, and there was moments that I was just like, wow, this is awesome. Like some of the scenes where I guess we can kind of spoil because I mean the game's old, but it's very early in when you're kind of seeing the city like the king made, and it gets bigger and bigger. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yep, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, whoa, that was interesting just to see all the different mazes, and I was like, this is kind of cool, and then walking around and stuff. But then it got into that same thing that you guys mentioned where it just got repetitive, and, nothing really made me go, ooh, again. So, but yeah, I finished it. I don't think I'm going to jump back into it to grab trophies. I just don't really care. It was a fun little game, but nothing crazy awesome. But yeah, other than that, I played some Breach and Clear, which is one of the new releases, and it's a fun little game. I haven't played a lot of it, just a couple missions here and there, and if you're really into Frozen Snaps Prime, then this is basically the same thing, but just a more military-esque game, and it actually has some upgrading abilities, so you can upgrade your guns, you can add attachments and stuff like that, which make it very interesting, and you have to earn your way up the rank to get certain weapons. And so yeah, I mean, if you like I said, Frozen Snaps Prime, then this is definitely one you should check out. But haven't played too much. I want to play more and see how it is in the later levels because I'm playing some of the easier missions. Other than that, I played a lot of Disney Infinity 2.0. That just came out in North America over the weekend, and I'm having a lot of fun. There is some problems. If you're familiar with Borderlands 2, there's some frame rate issues on certain parts, but then some parts are just completely normal, and it's awesome. So it's weird because there's a part where I fought I think 30 people all at once, and I was like, this is gonna kill the Vita. Like, I don't understand how this is gonna happen. And it did have some moments where it chugged, but for the most part, it actually held up pretty well. And I was a little surprised because I was literally fighting 30 people. Like it said, I had 30 enemies to kill, and they were all there running at me, throwing stuff at me, doing all these crazy attacks while I'm running around as Spider-Man, flinging around, just going crazy. So, I mean, like I said, it had its moments, but I was pleasantly surprised. And I definitely want to play a lot more of that. I've been a little distracted playing other things, and the other thing I did play was MLB 15 The Show, and I've got a weekly update for you of all the terribleness that happens in this game. And this one, it made me laugh really hard because it pissed me off that much, but at the same time I couldn't help but laugh because it was such a stupid glitch. But even if you're not familiar with baseball, was it me? Yeah, I was up to bat. I hit the ball way, way into foul ground, so it's like going into the stands, and their outfielder he runs through the wall and catches the ball. And I am just crying, like, what? Like, I want to be able to do that with my team.
Ghost player.
Yep. I just started laughing my ass off because I was like, that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. And, I mean, that game is just riddled with glitches. Also, I've noticed some more glitches as I've played. Kind of like more foul ball kind of stuff. Like, the announcers, whenever a batter hits the ball foul, like, it's one of those, what is the word? Like, pre-dubbed kind of thing that the announcer's going to say every time this happens. But a person will hit a foul ball, but it'll be way foul. So again, like, a person should not be able to catch it because it's way up in the stands. But the announcer's like, oh, we got a pop fly here, and he's not able to get it. It's like, what? The ball is way up in the stands. Of course he's not going to be able to get it. And it's just stupid little things like that. But there's my weekly MLB 15 The Show update for the Vita. Ah, God, I hate that game. and yet I still play the crap out of it. Yeah. Anyways, I think no, I played a little bit of Titan Souls. I did another video on my channel, and I wanted to kill another boss, and I did, and it was fun, and also frustrating at the same time. But I think that's it. Yeah. Anyways, let's go on to those reviews. Kyle, what do we got to review this week?
All right, so we've got 2 new reviews up this week. First up, we've got Titan Souls, which you were just talking about, reviewed by Paul. He gave it a 3.5 out of 5, and he says, quote, "With some fantastic enemies and well-thought-out puzzling gameplay, you will find a very challenging and satisfying game here. But there may well come a point where the challenge transfers into frustration and rage, and outside of the boss encounters, the game doesn't really offer much else." So, seems like he liked it, but he thought it was kind of one-dimensional. What did you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, it is just boss fights so far. I don't know how many bosses I've fought so far, but yeah, I mean, you explore a little bit, and then you go through a door, boss fight. Explore some more, go through a door, boss fight. And that's all it is. But that's what it's good at, and I mean, that's what it's designed to be, is boss fights, and just how you're supposed to fight these bosses, and each one of them has a unique way of killing it. And sometimes it takes you many tries to figure that out. You could fight a boss for like 20 minutes and still have no idea how you're supposed to kill it. Sometimes by accident you'll discover its weakness, and that's when you're able to actually make progress, which happens to me a lot. I'll be sitting there shooting my arrow at it, going like, nothing's happening! And I'm getting squished and dying, and it makes you want to just throw your Vita across the room. But then you'll do something on accident, and you'll be like, wait a minute, that just showed his weakness. You'll go back in, and you're like, yes, all right, now I know exactly what I need to do, and then you just need to, succeed. But yeah, I enjoy the game.
So what you're saying is fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
I see.
A big tip would be not to just go crazy and shooting at the boss. It would be watch the boss's attacks and get used to his attack patterns. And then when you get used to the attack patterns, you'll most likely notice its weakness via its attack patterns.
Well, there you go.
Little tip for you.
All right. Yeah. So there you have it. Read the review on the site if you're interested, or if you think you might be interested. Whatever. Anywho, moving on. Our second review and last review of the week is Shovel Knight, reviewed by Smelly Old Liam, and he gave it a 4.4 out of 5, saying, quote, "Shovel Knight is a wonderful throwback to the days of retro gaming. Its tough as nails platforming sections combined with its unique and varied boss fights make it a very special game, and the story is also incredibly well done. This is definitely a game worth investing your time and money into. The hype surrounding it has absolutely necessary and correct." So, there you go. Liam said it, so take it away, Liam.
Okay, yeah, I had a lot of fun with Shovel Knight. I know a lot of the other people on the Vita Lounge team said it was just kind of average, but I personally found the hype that surrounded it leading up to its PlayStation release was really, really, worth it, because it is a really special game. It can be frustrating at times. It can really test you, but as long as you give it the patience and just, practice the skills, it's really worth it. It's really worth playing, and it really will sit with you eventually. It just takes time.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of it. I'm not very far, but I'm actually really enjoying it. I've just been very distracted with other things, and sadly haven't been able to jump back into it, but definitely going to pick my shovel out of the dirt and jump back into that one. So yeah.
Nice shovel pun.
I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, I must admit I was quite digging it myself, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Damn puns.
Come on, Kyle, think of one.
I don't want to. I'd rather abstain from the puns.
I'll give you
Save
all
my
night.
coolness.
He's going to dig a grave for himself if he makes any more puns.
Well, all right. Let's jump into the next stuff here. The new releases. So, someone tell them those new releases. Hey everybody, Tyler here, going to bring you your new releases. So first up, we've got the North American releases. We are getting Breach and Clear for $14.99. We are getting Color Guardians with it, which is cross-buy with the PlayStation 4 version for $14.99. And Ultratron, which is three-way cross-buy for $9.99 or $7.99 if you have PlayStation Plus. So there you go. Those are the North American releases. For Europe, you guys are getting Ultratron, which is varied in prices. And that would be it. There's some sales on the Vita for you guys in Europe, so feel free to check those out. There's also some Helldivers stuff going on and some Hatsune Miku Project Diva F2 stuff. So there you go. Those are your new releases. Let's jump back into the podcast. All right. Thanks for those new releases. Kyle, you got all of them, right?
I have none of them.
What?
I don't have anything. Nothing for me.
Nothing interesting. Don't care. You don't have the money. You have no data. Your mom said no. What's the deal?
It's I don't know. It's I don't really care for some. It's I kind of am only a little interested for other, and one I'm just don't have the money for.
Which one don't you have the money for?
I'm probably gonna get Ultratron, so you know.
Ah.
I thought that looked pretty interesting. I don't usually go for those kind of games, but it's a little different, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Thinking maybe.
And then you don't care about the other two?
I don't really care about Color Guardians. I'm not down for those runner games unless they have some sort of hook, and that one doesn't have one for me. And Breach and Clear, I'm kind of interested because it's actually like a port of the Steam version instead of the mobile version.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know if I'd put enough time into it, so I don't know.
I gotcha. What about you, Liam? Are these coming out in Europe?
Breach and Clear is not coming out in Europe, but it's not a game that interests me anyway. I had a bad time with Rosenson Prime, so...
You want to talk about it?
Not particularly.
Well,
I could, if you give me $1, I could point out to where it touched me.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. As for Color Guardians, it's not out in Europe this week, but that does look very interesting to me. So that is maybe something I would pick up. And as for Ultratron, I know it's by the same team who did Titan Attacks, but Titan Attacks was just, in my opinion, absolute rubbish. So I don't think I'll bother with Ultratron.
So you're going to be having extra money in your wallet this week?
Yes, yeah. But that'll be safe for when Color Guardians comes out within the next few weeks.
Ah, oui.
But saying that, I won't have so much money in my wallet because thanks to your videos of Disney Infinity the weekend, I ended up pre-ordering that, so there's my money gone.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, well, for me, Breach and Clear, I was given a code, so I played a little bit of that. It's a fun little game, as I was mentioning in what we've been playing. Color Guardians, I also got a code, but of course it's not activating the Vita version. They gave me a PS4 code and they told me that it's gonna work cross-buy or whatever, and nope, it's not on my download list, so I've got to bug them and see what's up with that. And Ultratron doesn't feel ultra to me. I don't care for it. It's not something I would play much of. So yeah. Those are your new releases. Let's jump into the news. We don't have very much here, but we've got enough to tickle your fancy, I guess. So first up, Koei Tecmo has revealed that sci-fi RPG R No Surge Plus Ode to an Unborn Star will be making the journey west post-haste. Coming to us as an enhanced port of the PlayStation 3 version of the game, we not only get all the DLC from the original pre-installed, but also new costumes, purification, partners, and more. But before we get into that, I'm sure you'd like to know what the game's about, right? So I'll quote the press release for absolute clarity. Quote, AR No Surge Plus Ode to an Unborn Star is a fantasy sci-fi 7-dimension RPG that takes place in a world where music and song can create music or magic. It tells the compelling story of a civilization that lost their planet and has been roaming the edge of space for 2,000 years in search of a new home. The player follows two sets of characters, Delta and Casti, whose goal is to protect humanity and save the world, and Ion and Earths, who are trying to find Ion a way home to Earth. The player can change between both pairs and discover a way to combine their storylines and strengths to eventually solve the mystery that shrouds their ongoing struggles. End quote. And if I still have your attention, good. Next are the updates and upgrades that have been announced for inclusion in the game compared to the original. New costumes for the 4 main characters, Delta, Earths, Casti, and Ion. Beat the game to unlock even more costumes for the above 4 characters. New purification costumes for the additional characters. Sarli, Nello, and Shirelia can be selected as conversation partners during purification. Some DLC available from the previous versions come preloaded. Full-featured tutorial. Synthesis shop events viewable from menu. Moving to the final and quite possibly the bit everyone's been waiting for, we've got release details for the title as well, and they sound pretty sweet. Air Surge Plus Ode to an Unborn Star is coming to Europe on July 1st, though we've yet to receive pricing information or information in regards to a limited edition release in the region. As for North America, AR No Surge Plus Ode to an Unborn Star releases July 2nd, the standard edition format priced at $39.99 and a limited edition format for $54.99. The NIS published limited edition will include the following: a copy of the game, Surge Concerto pin badge, microfiber cloth, sticker sheet, AR No Surge Plus poster 18 inches by 24 inches, a collector's box, an AR No Surge Plus limited edition, and is available for pre-order via NIS America's online store now. Next up, adventure game Natsumigu will be making its way to PlayStation Vita on July 30th in Japan by word of Shara Ani Leak. Originally released on PC, here's the game's summary pulled from the Visual Novels database. Quote, Atsushi is in his second year of high school. His school is going to get merged with another school after the end of the first period, so this is his last summer holiday. He enjoys spending time with his friends. One day, the news comes out that Yukako is going to transfer to another school. He decides to gather his friends and set up a club to make memories for Yukako. Natsumigu, developed by Cotton Software, will be published by TGL, who have also published Hotchkiss and Parfait. There will be also a limited edition which includes an original soundtrack. For more on this game, keep hanging around the Vita Lounge. And next up, NISA have shared details on the physical launch edition of the upcoming JRPG Operation Abyss New Tokyo Legacy, and it looks like it's going to be a fantastic edition for collectors. So far, only confirmed for North America. Fans who managed to buy the game at launch will be treated to a collector's edition box as well as a copy of the game's official soundtrack. Not a bad haul at all. Operation Abyss New Tokyo Legacy launches in the US on June 9th and in Europe on June 5th, so be prepared or miss out.
5PB are bringing lovely Excursion 1 and 2 to Vita as a dual release package, including the first and second games, but that's not the only perk we're getting. One of the new features added to the game on its journey to PS Vita is the augmented reality camera mode, which lets you take a picture with one of the heroines. You can even choose from various poses to find the best position to take your photo. According to 5PB, there's also been a big increase in additional scenarios and main events, meaning that there are even more opportunities to take memories with the game's characters. The additions and cool features just keep coming, and next we are introduced to the lovely call feature, whereby you can pick a pet name for the heroines to call you by. There's also the hobby tuning system, which lets you deepen the bonds you are making with the girls by taking into account your choices made in the game. The new features don't stop there, however, and the second game in the package, Lovely Excursion 2, has a few exclusive features that the original doesn't, including Lovely Shot and Walking Talk. Lovely Shot is a system by which you can get QR codes from events to save those scenarios as wallpaper, and Walking Talk lets you go on walks with the heroines once you get to a certain level of intimacy called Above Friendship. Lovely Excursion 1 and 2 will release in Japan on May 21st with no use yet of a Western localization. Kick and Fennec was one of the most charming PlayStation Vita exclusives we've received in quite some time. Now, a new update has been revealed that will fix a number of bugs as well as add PlayStation TV support. Since its launch as a PlayStation Plus game in February, the team at Jaywalkers Interactive have been hard at work on a patch to fix a number of the game's bugs as well as add in a few new additions. The full list of patch notes for update 1.01 are fixes: resolved some trophies not unlocking, resolved crash when loading levels, resolved game hanging in black screen, various bug fixes, various level updates and gameplay tweaks based on community feedback, new features, PlayStation TV support, controller support for all menus, completion times shown during the credits, and restart level from pause screen. The best part, however, is that the update is available right now, ready to download across all 3 major regions and clocking in at under 90 megabytes. What are you waiting for? Get down and sorry. What are you waiting for? Get downloading that update while you listen to the rest of the cast.
Alrighty then. Moving on. It seems to have slipped under the radar somewhat, but the Vita version of upcoming Double 11 title Nom Nom Galaxy has been cancelled.
Meh.
Well, pretty much. Whilst inquiring about the Vita version, with the PlayStation 4 version launching next week, we were pointed to Double 11's blog where a post in April confirms the bad news. Mark from the studio says, quote, "We have some unfortunate news to deliver in that we will not be continuing the development of Pixel Junk Nom Nom Galaxy for PlayStation Vita. Nor corporate doublespeak needed, as the reason is quite simple. We had to stop work on it so that we could focus on providing the best possible console experience on PS4 without sacrificing the game's ambition and content. We've been working with the Vita since 2010, and it's how we made our real start as a developer, so this wasn't an easy decision for us. It's the first and hopefully only time as a studio that we've had to stop working on a title. A lot of really good work from some very clever people went into it, and I'd like to say thanks to the team for all their hard work. I hope everyone can understand the reasoning behind it. We did look at other scenarios for how we could keep it running, and unfortunately, this is how it needs to be." End quote. Were you looking forward to the game on the Vita? Quite a few people seem to be, but it doesn't look like they'll be playing it on any manner but remote play, at least for now.
Another meh.
Yeah, man. Moving on, guys. For those of you in North America that have eagerly been waiting the launch of Disney Infinity 2.0 on the Vita, the wait is now over and the game is in stores now. The Vita version of the game, which was developed by Panic Button Games, will be available exclusively at GameStop for $59.99 or EB Games in Canada for $69.99. And the game comes with the Spider-Man playset piece, an exclusive black suit Spider-Man figure, 2 toy box game discs, a web code card, and a USB recharging cable to go with the unique to Vita Bluetooth wireless base. Additionally, we've been told that if you get the game at GameStop in the first week, you will also get the Avengers playset, which includes Iron Man, Black Widow, and the Avengers playset piece for free. As for our European brethren, the UK date now appears to be May 22nd, so there's a little bit of a delay for you guys. Have you been looking forward to the game? I know a lot of TVL staff have, and Paul should have a review for you soon.
Woo! Alright, next up, Square Enix and Toze Games have announced that Spelunker Z, previously known as Project Code V, will be making its way to PlayStation Vita on May 21st in Japan, sporting cross-buy and cross-save between PlayStation Vita and PS4. Additionally, gamers will apparently be able to dig deep into the earth with 5 other players as well. Ooh. Released alongside the announcement was also a teaser for an upcoming Spelunker Z and Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris collaborations, which is going live on May 31st. This month's pet, Mike... What? This month's pet, Mike, can also be seen in the teaser. That is a weird sentence. Spelunker Z will be released in Japan on May 21st, a PlayStation Network exclusive. Next up, Hun X has announced that they'll be bringing adventure game Tsuki ni Yorisho Atome no Saho, nailed it, to the PlayStation Vita later this year in Japan. This version will include new scenarios created by the original developers, new visuals, touchscreen support, and the protagonist will be fully voiced. Here's a summary of the story, courtesy of the Visual Novel Database. Quote, coming from a prestigious family that didn't want him in the financial world, Yusi, I don't know how to say that name, had been homeschooled strictly and sheltered all his life. Even though he excelled at everything, it was his dream to live a life of a commoner. One day his chance came and he changed his identity to Asahi and entered Fairy Girls School, which specialized in female fashion for the rich. Wait a minute. That's weird. As part of his plan, he became the maid of his classmate Luna and worked at her home Sakura Yashiki. Also living there was a proud exchange student from Switzerland, Ursula, a Yamato Nadeshiko. Kyle is just giggling. Mizuho, and his childhood Minato, whatever, who had feelings for him and was also the one who knew his true identity. With her help, will he be able to manage his double life in the school and his new home? Question mark. Do you want Tsuki ni Yosho Atome no Saha to be localized? I'm sure you're not alone.
Oh man, that was fucking hilarious.
Did you deliberately give him that one, Kyle?
I did not, and he screwed up every name in that whole thing. I don't think he said one name right. Oh man.
I plead the fifth.
All right. I think I'm calm enough. Continue on with the news.
Well, that's it for me.
Okay. Helldivers is getting ready for a free update that is going to add a new bunch of content to the game. This new batch of DLC, dubbed Turning Up the Heat, will add several new mission objectives and enemy types to the game. Let's take a look at what has been revealed. In 2 videos posted by Arrowhead, we get a good look at some of the new content that will soon be coming. The first video, available on the site, details the new mission objectives players will have to complete. The first new objective involves repairing an artillery cannon and then collecting shells that will be scattered around the area. Players will need to collect them one at a time and load them into a cannon. Next up is the geological survey. This mission requires players to call down a drill that will take geological samples of the planet. The goal is to defend the drill and prevent its destruction when it accomplishes its task. And lastly, we have the search for the unexpected ordnance. Players will need to break out a metal detector and sweep an area to locate bombs that have failed to explode. Once the ordnance has been located, players will have to defuse the bomb. Be careful though, because one small misstep and you'll be met with instant death. In addition to the new missions, there will also be a number of new enemy types as well. Again, Arrowhead released a video to highlight 3 of these menaces to freedom and democracy, which is available on the site. The first one we learn about is the Illuminate Obelisk. This enemy is a support type that generates a large wall of energy that prevents the player from moving or shooting through it. The catch is that the Illuminate can freely move through it at any time. Players will also meet an untimely death if they're caught in the path of the wall when it's being generated. The obelisk will teleport around the area and Helldivers will have to take its shield out before destroying it. The new enemy from the Cyborg worlds is the Cyborg Hound. These new creatures are fast and will chase down a running Helldiver. The good news is that they're not heavily armoured, so they should be easy to kill, but when they attack in numbers, this could prove to be quite difficult. And lastly, we have the new bug menace, the Impaler. This large, tank-like bug has the ability to burrow its large tentacles in the ground and have them pop up near the player. This tactic prevents player movement into certain areas while at the same time lashing out to kill you. The good news is that while the Impaler has its tentacles buried, it will be vulnerable to attack. Naturally, you'll just want to get it over quick with a blast from an anti-tank missile. One other new addition that has not been mentioned yet is the increase in the level cap. Currently, players are limited to reaching level 25, while the Helldiver in these videos is at level 27. Hopefully, we'll hear more on other additions in the near future. Helldiver's Turning Up the Heat content should be available soon. We will bring you more information as it's released. The cat is definitely out of the bag on this feline-themed puzzler. Last year saw the release of Cat's Block Festival in Japan on the PS Vita, which brought us much-needed cuteness to the match 3 puzzle genre. For all you feline fanatics, rejoice as it has now been revealed that Nico Entertainment will be bringing the puzzler to Western Vita owners, and better still, we can get our claws into it later this year. For the Western release, the title will be renamed Nekoburo Cat's Block, with the overall gaming experience remaining the same. The game tells the story of a group of cat-like aliens who find themselves stranded on Earth. Alone and quite scared, the leader of the cat aliens, Tortan, befriends a teenage girl who sets out to help him find the rest of his litter. Although the game sits comfortably on the lap of the match-3 genre, there are welcome additions to the formula that gives the game a unique feel. You can use a host of Tortan's alien gadgets in each level to your advantage, and each of the different cats has their own unique personality, and all spawning from their obsession with FTV. Outside of the puzzler gameplay, you can decorate your own room to really make it the cat's pajamas by adding furniture and toys, which can be used to interact with the different cats. For better insight into the gameplay, check out the original Japanese trailer below. We await a firm Western release date for Nekoburo Cat's Block, and you can bet that TVL will be on hand to give you all the latest details and a scratch under the chin as we get them.
Alright guys, going into the home stretch with the news here, so hold on to your hats. Skullgirls was originally released on PS3 in early 2014, and after a phenomenally successful Indiegogo campaign to bring the DLC to the game, Lab Zero Games announced they would be porting the title to PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4 with all DLC and extra content included. After over half a year waiting since our last update from late 2014, details have finally been unearthed, and PlayStation Vita players will apparently now be getting their hands on Skullgirls' second encore, which will have a whole host of new features. So what will be included? Let's have a run through of what second encore will have. Crossplay across all Sony platforms. Similar to how PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale crossplay worked, you'll be able to play against players on PS3, PS4, and PlayStation Vita. Challenges. In Challenges game mode, you face different opponents with a variety of different battle conditions. Survival mode. As the name suggests, you're pitted against wave after wave of enemies. The better you do, the more health you recover between rounds, but the farther you progress, the harder the opposition becomes. Trials. The new Trials game mode is aimed at helping players master different combos. They're built on the new button-by-button instructional system to make combos easier and more intuitive to learn. A full Platinum trophy set. 43 trophies will be included in Skullgirls' second encore and will test players' ability and skill with the new content. And lastly, a full voice story mode. Responding to fan feedback, second encore will include a fully voiced story mode featuring some of the biggest names in anime, the list available on the site. We await details on a concrete release date for Skullgirls' second encore, but be sure to keep checking back to TVL for all future details on the upcoming 2D fighter. Next up, Compile Heart have once again updated the official Death Under the Labyrinth website to unleash yet more details for the upcoming dungeon RPG. We can now get a better idea of the enemy group players will face in-game, and you can become better acquainted starting with the top of the chain. Gagarin. The big boss, more precisely, he is a Makaishi who lost his way and fell into darkness. We stand in the way. I think it's supposed to say he stands in the way. He stands in the way of Estra and company as they take on the towers by sending the Dark Senishu, the 3 shadow people, after them. But who exactly are these 3 mysterious shadow people? Keep reading to find out. The Dark Senishu consists of the following 3 characters. Glen of Fire. The leader of the group of 3 who answers to Gagarin, the Glen of Fire speaks with a polite tone, but don't let that fool you. He's a sarcastic and stubborn individual as well as a perfectionist. He thinks himself above the task of stopping Estra and company, and instead handing out this responsibility to the other 2 members of the Dark Senishu. He has the fire attribute. Next up is Gorgon of Gold. As you probably gathered from his portrait, available on the site, Gorgon of Gold is a huge muscular individual who has a rough and impulsive nature. You do not want to be alone in a fist fight against Gorgon. Unfortunately, due to his impulsive nature, he is the first of the Dark Senishu to attack Estra and company. He has the gold attribute. And lastly is Arya of Water. The final member of the Dark Senishu, she has a smug, queen-like tone, but her methods are less than queenly. She consistently wears a voluptuous smile and uses a variety of foul means to make Estra and company fail on their mission. She has the water attribute. Death in the Labyrinth will soon grace the PlayStation Vita, but we still await a release date. Keep checking back to TVL for all the latest news on Compile Heart's latest releases. And our last news piece. Falcom reveals details of a new party member along with battle features for the upcoming JRPG Tokyo Xanadu. Accompanied with the new character profile, we are also treated to new battle features for the upcoming JRPG. But before we delve into these, let's learn more about the new team member. His name is Yuki Shinomiya, and he is a bright egg. Very bright, in fact. He has an IQ of 180. He is not the most social of people, though, and more often than not will give people the cold shoulder. For certain reasons, however, Yuki has not been turning up for school. Don't judge him on this small frame, however, as his weapon of choice is a huge mallet, and he sure can use it to its full ability. He also uses a spirit peridium, which, although not confirmed, sounds as if it has an affinity with the spirit particles from the other world that the soul device weapons are made from. We were also given 2 new battle features titled the X Strike and the X Drive. The X Strike is a special attack showcased by Ku on the site. His unique X Strike ability is Extend Gear. It surrounds his soul device weapon, an Anchor Gear, with a red aura, and wings it towards the enemy to deal major damage. The X Drive is a special ability that provides special abilities to the entire party. Not much is known about how it works, but it provides abilities such as speed up and strength, and will vary depending on the characters you have in your party. Tokyo Xanadu is set to release in Japan on September 30th, and we will wait details of a Western release. And that's the news.
Woo woo!
Indeed. Well, you may not have noticed yet, but we've lost Liam. He has disappeared into the ethos, so that's what happens. He had to go to work, so it's just us.
All alone.
All
Together at last. With our pants off.
I have my pants on, Tyler, and they're staying on, and if you get within 100 miles of me, I'm duct taping them to me so that they can't even come off. Anywho, moving on with talking points, we have, as usual, announced and released games we're looking forward to from the week. So, Tyler, what looks good?
Well, what does look good? I was really hoping that Nom Nom Galaxy was going to come, but now that's not, so gotta scratch that off.
It doesn't
my
look good
list.
at all.
No. I'm really excited for Arno Surge Plus Ode to an Unborn Star. I pre-ordered the special edition because I want that game physically, because it's coming digitally only, unless you get that limited edition. So that one, nothing really else from the news, but, you know, all the stuff that we always talk about from Bandai. What about yourself, Kyle?
Well, that Death Under the Labyrinth game looks pretty interesting. I'm kind of getting my interest has peaked a little on that, so I'm gonna kind of keep my eye on that one for sure. Also, Tokyo Xanadu. I've pretty much been saying that since it's been introduced, but I'm really hoping they bring it west, and it looks really interesting and kind of a meld of some things that I already like, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, as for Nom Nom Galaxy, that blows, but
I don't think it'd be
what are you
something
gonna
you
do?
like, though.
Yeah, the Kick and Fennec update, I know it's an update, but that kind of got my interest back, as now I can play on PlayStation TV, and
Yeah.
I think that's probably how I might play.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of interesting. And Operation Abyss New Tokyo Legacy, I still have to play Demon Gaze, but from what I've seen of it, I'm gonna like it, and if I like that, then I'm gonna like Operation Abyss too, because it's pretty much the same kind of deal. So yeah.
Yeah.
As for Arno Surge, I haven't played any of those R games or whatever the hell. I don't know a whole bunch about it, but it's one of those things that I'm starting to look into, especially now that it's been announced for over here.
Yeah.
You probably know more about it than me if you've pre-ordered it. Or
Not
either
much.
that or you just...
No, it's just one of those things where I missed the opportunity of getting the physical edition of Hotaru no Nakai, and I'm a little disappointed that I did, but I did look up enough to where I was like, okay, it's a type of game that I like. I think it's turn-based RPG. So like Persona or Final Fantasy. So right there, I'm like, okay, I like those type of games. Let's look into it more. But I haven't really done that. But I decided to pre-order just so I can make sure I get the copy, because I have no idea how much they're selling or how quickly or how popular that series is. So I was like, I'm not gonna let it slip through my fingers this time. So yeah.
Good enough.
Well, all right, that's it, right?
It is.
Let's jump into the lister mail. We've got a few here, quite a few. So
Yes, we do.
You want to take the first one?
Alright, so starting off, this one's via email. Hey guys, really enjoy the podcasts. My questions are, so he's got a couple. First up, are there any ports of any games from any PlayStation console that you'd like to see on Vita? I would personally love to see a Valkyria Chronicles collection, as well as an Ogre Battle and Shining Force compilation. We need more SRPG games on the Vita. I would also love to see a Vanillaware compilation that includes Grim Grimoire and Odin Sphere. I wouldn't mind separate releases of both games either. Alright, so at least he does like we usually say and answers the question as well. But the basic question is, are there any ports of any games from any PlayStation console that you'd like to see on Vita? Throw them at me, Tyler.
Huh. So wait, he's saying a port that's already on a console that it would like to have ported to the Vita then?
I'm thinking he's saying...
Or something, anything just brought
No,
to the
yeah,
Vita.
any games on any PlayStation console that you would like to see ported to the Vita. I think that's what he's saying.
I really have no idea. Maybe a Killzone collection? That'd be pretty badass. I mean, Killzone Mercenary,
but-
isn't that running off the Killzone 3 engine?
Modified, but yes.
So bam, there we go. It's possible. Killzone 1, Killzone 2, maybe Killzone 3.
Boom.
I'd buy it.
Me too.
What about yourself, Kyle?
There's really a lot. Like I could probably just sit here and list games forever. Um, but some of the ones that stand out in my mind are kind of like the sports stuff. So like, I mean, I'd love if they had like an NHL 2015 or whatever on Vita. I'd love SSX to make it to Vita and Skate to make it to Vita. The stuff like that. Like we're really missing the kind of standout games and the kind of sports genre, even extreme sports and stuff like that. It seems like the only thing we have is baseball and an old football game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
There's
I'd
a lot
like
that we need.
Yeah, like I could literally sit here and probably just list games, but yeah, those are among the top, and that's kind of a whole encompassing thing that we really need more of on the Vita.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there we go. Next question within his question.
Next question within his question is: do you personally think that Gravity Days or Gravity Rush 2 will lose its Vita exclusivity either by having a PS4 port or becoming a pure PS4 exclusive?
All right. No. I think it's going to stay on the Vita, but there's always the chance of it coming to the PS4. And I believe that since it's a Japanese-centric game first, that they're going to want to bring it to the Vita because the Vita is doing better over there. And, I mean, it came out on the Vita first, so the original one, so why would they just separate it like that? But I still think there's a chance that it could come to the PS4 as well, just because if they brought it over to the West, which they most likely would, there's a ton more PS4s out there than there are Vitas, so money's money.
All right. Well, I hate to say it, but I think it's going to lose exclusivity. However, it's not going to lose the Vita version. I don't think you can make a Gravity Rush sequel and not have it on Vita, because it's one of those things where people would just flip right the fuck out. It's like, I mean, the whole control scheme to start is based around Vita. So, like, I mean, taking it to PS4 is kind of a bad idea in the first place, and leaving Vita behind would just be completely stupid. Like, I mean, you'd
Tell
have
that
to
to
be
Media
mentally
Molecule.
incapable. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just what I think.
Tell that to Media Molecule.
Yeah, I know. I already told that to Media Molecule. I think. I'm pretty sure I sent them an angry tweet right about the time that they announced Tearaway on the PS4, which I will not ever be buying or playing or caring about or looking at. Because fuck
Is that even out? Or is it still...
I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah, true.
Junk.
I'm not
It's
going to play
stupid.
it. I love Tearaway, but that experience was meant for the Vita, clearly.
Not only that, to re-release something like tweaked and like chopped or whatever for PlayStation 4 with extra content that the Vita doesn't get, lick me.
Anyways.
Anywho, moving on. Our last question. Within this question, anyway. Is there any chance that Final Fantasy Type 1 will come to the Vita, considering Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is also slated to be released for the system? Also, with Typo get a Vita release sometime later this year?
I have no idea. I've never played any of the type Final Fantasy games, or the Final Fantasy type blah 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 games, so I really don't know. But considering, is it Square Enix? No. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Square Enix. I mean, considering they're bringing Dragon Quest Heroes 2, I mean, it seems like they want to include the Vita, so I mean, there's always that chance. And I swear I heard something about Type 0 getting trademarked or something, or not trademarked, rated in like the Brazilian ratings board. Can't remember if that's true or not. But anyways, there's always a chance, and everyone was going crazy when they announced that Yeah, when they announced that it wasn't coming to the Vita, so I'm sure they heard all the cry for it. So I mean, there's always a chance, and I would definitely pick it up, even though I've never even played them. I would love to see what it's all about.
So I guess I have to be the crusher of worlds and say that
Aw.
even though there's a chance, the chance is like 0.01 because I don't think either of these things are going to happen. Ever. Ever. I don't think you're going to see a Final Fantasy type game compatible with Vita. Period.
Now, why is that?
Because if they were going to do it, I think because of the backlash, they would have already done it. I think it's one of those things like the whole Crash thing that they just can't do right now because of whatever issue, and that's why they aren't saying shit, and that's why it hasn't been done, and that's why even when they screwed up, they were like, well, that's the way it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna stay positive, Kyle.
You do that. Anywho, the end of his email goes like this. Oh, and I know you guys aren't too keen on Sayonara Umahara Kawase Plus, but if you guys are looking for one of the most unique and challenging platformers out there, you should give it a shot. There's no other game like it mechanically, and it's a really charming and awesome. Keep up the good work, Danny Reyes via email.
Well, looks like we have to try out that game, Kyle.
Damn it, Tyler. So many games.
Yeah, I
yeah.
have it on my Vita. I just haven't turned it on yet. So.
Stupid Tyler.
Hey, do you even have it?
I don't even have it.
Yeah, stupid Kyle.
If I had it, I probably would have turned it on by now to figure out what the hell it's about.
Yeah. Well,
That's just me. I don't know.
I'm a
Maybe
busy
Tyler
guy.
has some other sort of, method by which he plays games without playing them.
whatever.
Yeah. Anywho, thanks, Danny, for your email.
Yes,
and
thank
hopefully
you,
we
Danny.
answered your questions to your satisfaction.
I know I did. I don't know about this Kyle guy.
Whatever.
Anyways, next up, Jonathan Carnero. I'm probably saying your last name wrong. I'm sorry.
I believe that's right.
Oh, okay. Well, at Jho Canero, JHOCARNEIRO asks, what do you think about Bloodstained new the
new Kickstarter
Oh.
success.
Yes. New Kickstarter success lacking a Vita stretch goal. Kyle.
Any Kickstarter game that could come to Vita not having a Vita stretch goal is laziness and bullshit. Boo. Boo. There you go. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, it seems like I don't really know too much about the game, but from the screenshot or not, I don't know if I've seen. Well, was there screenshots? I think there's screenshots. Anyways, from the type of game I'm hearing it's supposed to be, it seems very plausible that it can run perfectly fine on the Vita. So, yeah, it's kind of meh. But you never know. I don't remember if Mighty Number 9 had a Vita stretch goal at the beginning after it had all its success, and then they finally added it. So, I mean, there's always that chance. And with Kickstarter, the people that run those, they don't want to promise all these things and then not be sure if they can actually do it. So maybe they'll be like, well, we can definitely do the Vita version now. Let's add that in there. So there's always a chance.
That'd be nice since they asked for 500,000 and they're now at 1.7 million with 30 days to go.
Oh, yeah. So bug them on Twitter.
Yes, bug the shit out of them.
Big, I'm not going to back it until that Vita platform is added.
Do it.
Bam. Well, thank you, Jonathan, for your question.
Yeah, thanks. And if you guys don't know, Jonathan is actually our magazine editor. So he does the putting together of the content that we give him in order to make the magazine all pretty for you guys.
Awesome. So you should definitely go follow him on Twitter. Say hello.
Definitely. Moving on. Next up, we have one from Gary Huss at Huss Not Huff, HUSSNOTHUFF on Twitter. And they say, thoughts, ? Then they link to Civilization Revolution 2 Plus rated for PlayStation Vita. And then they say, hope it's true. Maybe we can get a port of BioShock 2? Tyler.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, ratings boards normally hint at, it being very true because they're not just going to post something up there for fun. So yeah, that'd be awesome. As for BioShock, I don't know where that's coming from. But we were supposed to get a BioShock game, and that never happened, so... Yeah. What about you, Kyle?
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a weird one because it was rated for PlayStation Portable back in March in Brazil, so I don't know if this counts. I don't know.
Yeah, that is true.
It's
But then doesn't it say that it was
odd.
redone for 2014 or 2015? No, 2014.
Not in that link, I don't think.
Hold on. All right. While the date attached goes back to 2012, there's a notice on the page that the rating was amended in September 2014.
If you read the first sentence of that, that's not even talking about what you're talking about.
See, yep, that's a different game. XCOM Enemy Unknown Plus. Sorry.
Damn it, Tyler.
Yeah. Huh. Wait, so is that Civilization rating for 2012? Or is it just for PSP?
It's for March and PSP in Brazil.
Oh, okay. Alright, I don't know what I'm doing. It's late, Kyle.
Yeah. The one you're looking for, that's the recent one, is in that second sentence there. It says, well, it doesn't specify Vita. The Australian Ratings Board just recently posted up a rating for Revolution 2.
Yeah.
So that's maybe what you're talking about. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if you read that or not. Anywho, yeah, I don't necessarily think it's gonna happen. I think this is one of those wait and see kind of things. So I probably wouldn't put too much stock in it yet. As for getting a port of BioShock, yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. It was supposed to, and it never happened.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
Nope. Anyways, thank you, Gary, for your question. Unless you have more to add, Kyle.
Nope, I'm good. That's good. Thanks, Gary.
Well, all right, let's go to our very often questioner here, Nonscpo at NONSCPO, and he asks, what are your thoughts on Kickstarter expansion? Will it help hurt Vita developers from crowdfunding?
Well, I don't really see how it could hurt Vita developers unless they're like, you can come here, but you can't have Vita games. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. It'll definitely help because it's another market. So, like, I mean, any more markets means more money, means more chance of something getting funded. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Now there's developers in another territory that potentially could bring their games to Vita. So, bam, more games, more fun, less time.
Yeah, if you're wondering which country it is, that's Germany. Just got it. And I believe that article actually says that France gets it at the end of this month. So there you go. More.
All right, thank you, Nonskippo, for your question. Next, Kyle.
All right, this one's from Mohit Bhatia at iMafia97 on Twitter. And his question is, my question is, why you guys so epic? Tyler?
Well, you see here, there is a train carrying tons of toxic liquid going from Kyle's house, and Kyle realized that it was going straight for my house, and he was like, not gonna happen. I'm not gonna let Tyler die. So he hopped on that train, he busted open each one of those barrels and drank all that toxic liquid. So when it crashed into my house, there was no toxic liquid for me to worry about. Just a train. The end.
So what you're saying is that's how I became superhuman and you're just some lame guy who got saved.
No. Because you didn't let me finish. Even though I said the end, it's really one of my side effects. I have superhuman ability to lie. You thought it was the end of the story? Nope. I lied. You got to witness my power.
Your power sucks. Anywho, moving on. Yeah, we're so epic because we love the Vita so much. So if you love the Vita, you're epic too.
That's a better answer than my answer.
Of course it is, Tyler. I'm superhuman and you just lie.
Kyle's a nice guy. Ooh, am I using my powers? You'll never know.
Anywho, moving on. Thank you, Mohit, for your question, comment, thing. Yeah, awesome.
Yes, thank you, Mohit. Well, all right. I think that's it, right? No more questions?
No, there's one more. Refresh, Tyler. Refresh.
Refreshed. Oh, there it is. Hey, Xtema. Well, all right. So, Xtema, at Xtema, Xtemma, asks, game made you rage quit and you never play again? Any platform. It is because you suck at it or insert defense. Kyle.
All right, so rage quit and never play again. You know what, Tyler? I cannot think of any games that made me rage quit and never play again.
All right. Well, Super Meat Boy for me on the Xbox 360. Played like 3 levels of it and then got to a hard part and was like, nah, I got other things to do. This game is too hard.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't think there's any recent ones, though. That was a while ago. I've gotten really close to rage quitting Titan Souls, but just stuck through it.
When I started Bloodborne for a minute there, I almost rage quit, but no.
Well, there you go. What about you, Xtema? What's your rage quit game? Let us know. Report back to us when I upload this episode. But there we go. Is that it, Kyle? Do I have to hit refresh again?
No, I think that's it, Tyler, unless somebody hit us via Twitter, which they have not. So there you go.
All right. Well, all right. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. And remember, you can also send us emails at mediaservices at thevitalounge.net. And we were going to do Guess That Game, but I didn't realize the time before Liam had to leave, and I'm a little disappointed. So blame Liam for having a life and having to be responsible.
You know what? Since Liam ruined the podcast and then he left, I get a point. So 4-1.
Well, I don't know if I'll accept that, but I do have the 3 games, and next time Liam is on, we will definitely play these 3 games, and they're pretty good ones. I'm excited. I was excited to read them today, and now I don't. So maybe you do get a point, Kyle. Yeah. All right. Anyways, let's jump in to check this out. And Kyle, what are we going to check out this week?
All right. So this week, I kind of don't have something that I'm suggesting, but I kind of have a suggestion at the same time. Well, there's no games on sale this week that I know of that are for Vita that you should really pick up that I can recommend anyway. What I think you should do this week is buy a Vita game that you wanted and that you've been waiting for a sale and just never came up a sale. I think you should just go out and get it. Make the sacrifice, throw in the towel, and sacrifice yourself to the Vita gods with whatever game it was that is completely full price. I don't often say this, but some games deserve it.
Now watch
like
it.
Danganronpa, although it has been on sale, so don't necessarily buy that one.
Well, no, do buy it.
Or do buy it if you're that interested and need a game to play.
I was going to say you maybe suggest a Helldivers since it got that big update and now it's a bigger game and fun stuff awaits you. Maybe.
Didn't we already suggest Helldivers?
We've suggested it many times. We've suggested everything many times. I suggest we get out of here. Because there's not really anything else except for the threads, but we don't have any threads, right?
No threads.
But there's always the forum to check out and make your own thread. And
Boom.
Who knows?
There
It
you
could
go.
be shouted out in the podcast if it's awesome. So go do that, and we're gonna get out of here. So you can find everything that we talked about on the VitaLounge.net. You can send us your questions, your comments, your concerns, anything you'd like at mediaservices@thevitalounge.net. We're all on Twitter. I'm at Mr. PSVita Reviews. Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. Liam is at Lame Ass Liam Hangover. Just kidding, it's at Liam Hangover. Also at the Vita Lounge if you'd like to get us at the main Twitter handle. We're on Facebook, just search the Vita Lounge. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/loungeplay. Kyle recently posted up his May preview release, so we're halfway through the month, but if you'd like to see what's coming through the next half, go ahead and watch that video and you can find out what's coming up. We also post up the podcast, and we post up lounge plays when we get to those. Also, the magazine Patreon site, if you'd like to give us support, go to patreon.com/thevitalounge. You can back the magazine. You can also get do we have enough, or did it already run out of the physical copy for issue 2? Do you know?
It has been extended, so we ran out, but we extended it. So if you want a physical copy, you can still get one.
Awesome. So there you go. Go ahead and pick the tier that enables you to get a physical edition. But if you don't want a physical edition, there's always the electronic edition, which you can back as well. And I just had a brain fart. So yeah, go there. Patreon.com/thevitalounge if you'd like to support us for that. Also the forum, thevitalounge.net/forum. Join up. Wow, I'm messing up the outro all of a sudden. Sign up. Introduce yourself. Talk about stuff. I totally messed that up. I don't even care. It's late. I'm tired. I have to get up early.
We just hit 800 members, so there's lots of people to talk to. And that's 800 members, no bots, because I delete the bots.
Ooh.
So bam.
Nice.
800 actual people to talk to.
So yeah, join up. Introduce yourself. Talk about the Vita. Talk about whatever you want. And be friendly. And we'll love you to death. Anyways, we're on iTunes. We're on Podbean. We're on Stitcher, YouTube, and direct download on the site. We're everywhere. Just look up the Vita Cast, and you will find us on those areas that I mentioned.
That sounded a little dirty, Tyler.
Yeah, it's just a picture of me with no pants on.
Oh, God, no.
And there's like a little click link right where you want it to be, and just like click here, and I'm pointing
I
down.
swear to God, guys, there is no pictures of Tyler with no pants on anywhere near the VitaCast stuff, so it's safe.
For now.
It may not be safe to listen to at work, but it's definitely safe to download at work.
Unless I name the podcast a very dirty name.
Even then, usually words are okay. As long as you don't throw up some pictures, people can get away with it.
I'll figure something out, Kyle.
No, you won't, Tyler. I will block you.
I'll block you before you block me.
I'll fire you before you block me.
I'll block you and then unfire me and rehire myself.
Yeah, you do that over on your little YouTube channel over there.
Oh, ouch, Kyle. Well, alright. Let's get out of here before we insult each other anymore. So that was the episode of 75. Liam sucks. Kyle
And
agrees.
there's boobies at the end of this one, too.
Way to go, Kyle.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, and just cause, send Rank.
See ya.